Wednesday, April the 12th. Lake level is about 9, 12 and a half, about the same as it was last week. It hadn't come up or down much, a few inches here or there. Water temperature is really warming up. It's like 59, 60 degrees in the morning. And you can find 60s just about any place on the lake, and later in the day in the backs of some creeks you can find some high 60s. Before I get into the fishing report, Extreme Outdoors is having their grand opening Friday and Saturday. Extreme Outdoors is a tackle store, and it's in behind Ulrich Marine at Branson West. They've been open, I think for about 2 months, but they're having a customer appreciation and a grand opening. They're going to have, James Watson's going to be there doing some seminars. I'm going to be there Friday afternoon. They're going to have some other local fishermen. But it's going to be from 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday. They're going to have free hot dogs, hamburgers. It's a pretty awesome tackle store. You need to stop by and see what they got. It's also archery as well. It's got a lot of bow equipment and stuff in there. And they got a good selection of Lou's products in there, Lou's reels. And he's got just about everything that you need to fish table rocks. Really got a good selection of bait. So if you get a chance, you need to stop by and check it out this weekend, Extreme Outdoors. But as far as the fishing, fishing's been really good. It's been a lot of fun. Fish are on beds just about no matter what arm of the lake you go to. If you look, you'll find fish on beds. I've actually been catching them on such a variety of baits the last couple days. First couple hours of the morning, been able to catch them on top water. And I've been throwing it's a sexy dog. It's a Strike King. It's real similar to like a Spook Junior. Another thing we've been catching them on is a jointed redfin. Cotton Cordell makes it. Or a Storm Thunderstick will work as well. Now, if you've ever thrown these jointed redfins, you'll notice sometimes you have a little trouble keeping the front of the bait up. You want to work them real slow. It's like a little wake bait. But over there at Sportsman Factory Outlet, old Rob with Fall Creek Lures has kind of tweaked a lot of these out, and they got them for sale. What he does, he puts a little weight in the back, and that helps keep the back of the bait down, the front of it up, which makes it walk better. So if you've ever had any trouble, walking a redfin or waking it real slow, go by Sportsman Factory Outlet and pick up one of Rob's redfins that he's tweaked out. You really like it. Makes a big difference. But like I say, I've been able to catch fish on a little bit of everything. The last couple of days after we top water, we've been going into a couple creeks looking for some white bass, and we've been throwing little rattle traps in there and catching big old sows, 2.5, 3.5 pounders, and 30 to 40 of them in just a couple hours time. But what's been funny, while we've been in there doing that, we've also been able to catch largemouth and some Kentuckies, and I've mainly been throwing a little 1/4 ounce red eye Strike King rattle trap. And we've also been able to catch them on a 1.5 square bill crankbait. Been able to catch the white bass and the largemouth back in there on any kind of like sexy shad or chartreuse sexy shad color. Now, as far as the other fish, like I say, if you go into areas where they're spawning, there's so many different ways you can catch them. I've been catching several on a fluke. I've got one right here. Should have had this already ready, but no, it's the wrong rod. What I'm doing is I'm putting a little swivel up here about 18 inches. Then I've got a 3/0 hook, and it doesn't matter to me what color fluke, as long as it's a shad pattern. This is a bait fish, but not an albino. Arkansas shiner will work. Anything that kind of resembles a shad. And I haven't thrown watermelon, but watermelon should work good too. But what I'm doing, I'm paralleling some of these steeper banks where they're spawning with this big ledge rock, just throwing this way out ahead of the boat and twitching it. The reason I put the swivel there, one, it helps keep the twist out of the line. And another reason, it also gives it a little bit of weight so the bait will sink. A lot of the fish that I've been catching on the fluke have been largemouth, and they've been a little bit better fish than the ones I've been able to catch on say like a Ned rig, but there's so many different things you can throw. You can throw a Ned rig, shaky head, and it doesn't matter whose shaky head it is, what brand of worm you throw. And to me, as long as you're throwing something green pumpkin or watermelon, some type of little 4 to 5 inch finesse worm, I've been able to get bit on a wacky rigged Cinco. The thing is, you just got to fish real slow. Now the fluke, I don't have to fish that slow. I've been making long casts and basically trying to work it over the beds. If I can see the beds off from a distance, I can stay back off them. The fish are pretty active. If you get too close to the beds where the fish see you, then you're going to have to sit there and, try to catch them like you would a normal bed fish. But I find if I stay back off, I got a better chance of catching them. And I can throw that little Ned rig in there, watermelon red, green pumpkin with an 1/8 ounce or 3/16 ounce head. A lot of times I'm just blind casting. I'm casting in there where I think the fish ought to be, working the Ned rig back out real slow. Now, still catching a lot of fish on swim baits as well, on the little 2.8 Kitech, a 4-inch grub, a Chompers, Yamamoto with a smoked black flake, or even a white with a black flake, and smoke with a red flake. Some of these fish are out there suspended still on the main lakes. My topwater fish have been over deep water structure, over deeper trees, deeper boat docks. I am seeing a lot of bass fry, so some of the fish have already spawned. I don't think we're anywhere near the heart of the spawn yet. I think they're just now, we got full moon last couple nights, water's really warming up, they're really coming in. So hopefully the water level will stabilize in the next week or so, and the fish can come in and get their spawning done, because I think the bite's so much better after they spawn. But there's, like I say, there's such a variety of way to catch them. There's still some out there deep, and actually I've been catching a lot in that 12 to 15 foot range, either on a 1/2 ounce football jig or a little tube, green pumpkin, watermelon red, green pumpkin purple, throwing it on a 3/16 or 1/4 ounce head and dragging it on the bottom. The slime is not near as bad as it was a week or so ago. You're still going to run into it in areas, but the lake is pretty much flopped over. A lot of that is broke loose. Seems to be a little bit worse, I'm finding, in the stained water up in the river arms than it is in the clear end of the lake. So if you get a chance, looks like the weather's going to be beautiful. Next week or so, more fish are going to come in and spawn. Crappie are biting real good. I've actually been catching quite a few crappie while I've been bass fishing. A lot of them still aren't through spawning, because we cleaned a few crappie and white bass, and they're still all full of eggs. So till next week, good luck, good fishing.